Come step back in time.
Welcome back to our channel, where we delve into the fascinating corners of history. Today, we're exploring the Crusades, a series of holy wars that have left an indelible mark on our world. But what were the Crusades, and why did they happen? Let's find out. The Crusades were a series of religious wars initiated, supported, and sometimes directed by the Latin Church in the medieval period. The term refers primarily to the Eastern Mediterranean campaigns in the period between 1095 and 1291 that had the objective of recovering the Holy Land from Islamic rule. The spark that ignited the Crusades was a call to arms from Pope Urban II in 1095. He urged Christians to aid the Byzantines in their fight against the Seljuk Turks, who had recently conquered the Holy Land. But the Crusades were about more than just reclaiming this sacred territory. They were also driven by a desire to control trade routes, expand Christian territories, and even to quell violence within Europe itself by redirecting these energies towards the infidels in the East. The Crusaders, who came from all walks of life, were promised spiritual rewards such as penance and indulgences for their participation. This promise, combined with the lure of adventure and potential wealth, led to thousands answering the Pope's call. Over the next 2 centuries, there would be several major crusades, along with numerous smaller ones. The Crusaders established several states in the Holy Land, but their hold was always precarious, and by the end of the 13th century, they had lost all their territories to the Muslims. The impact of the Crusades was profound and far-reaching. They led to an unprecedented level of interaction between the East and West, influencing everything from trade and knowledge transfer to architecture and music. They also sowed the seeds of conflict and mistrust between different religious communities, the echoes of which can still be heard today. In our next segment, we'll delve deeper into the individual crusades, exploring the key battles, the prominent figures, and the surprising alliances. So, stay tuned as we continue our journey into this tumultuous and transformative period of history. Let's dive deeper into the Crusades, a series of religious wars that have left an indelible mark on our history. These wars were not just about religion, they were also about power, politics, and adventure. The Crusades were sanctioned by the Latin Church in the medieval period, a time when the Church held immense power and influence. But why did the Church sanction these wars? The answer lies in the religious fervor of the time. The Church wanted to reclaim the Holy Land, the birthplace of Christianity, from Muslim rule. This was a deeply emotional and spiritual cause for the Christians of the time, who believed they were doing God's work. But religion was not the only driving force behind the Crusades. Political ambition played a significant role as well. The Crusades were a way for the Church to extend its influence and power. By leading the charge to reclaim the Holy Land, the Church positioned itself as the spiritual and political leader of the Christian world. And then there was the lure of adventure. The Crusades were a chance for knights and nobles to prove their bravery and valor. They were drawn to the romantic notion of a holy war, the promise of glory and honor. For many, it was an opportunity to escape the monotony of their lives and embark on an exciting journey. But the Crusades were not just about the Christian knights and nobles. They also involved the common people, who were promised salvation and a place in heaven if they joined the holy war. This promise was a powerful motivator, leading thousands to join the Crusades. The Crusades were a complex mix of religious fervor, political ambition, and an appetite for adventure. They were a reflection of the times, a manifestation of the power of the Church, and a testament to the human desire for glory and honor. But they also brought about immense suffering and loss, leaving a legacy that continues to shape our world today. In our next segment, we will delve into the impact of the Crusades on the societies of the time and how they continue to influence our world today. Stay tuned for more. Over the centuries, there were several crusades, each with its own set of events and outcomes. The First Crusade, which began in 1095, was a successful endeavor for the Christians, resulting in the capture of Jerusalem. Let's delve deeper into the First Crusade. It was initiated by Pope Urban II, who called upon Christians to reclaim the Holy Land from the Muslims. Thousands of people, from knights to peasants, heeded this call and embarked on a journey that was as much about religious fervor as it was about seeking adventure and fortune. The journey was fraught with challenges: harsh weather, lack of food, and battles against Muslim forces. Yet the Crusaders persevered, driven by their faith and the promise of eternal salvation. In 1099, after a grueling siege, they captured Jerusalem. This victory was a significant moment in Christian history, but it was also marked by a brutal massacre of the city's Muslim and Jewish inhabitants. However, the success of the First Crusade was not replicated in the subsequent ones. The Second Crusade, for instance, was a disastrous failure. Launched in response to the fall of the Crusader state of Edessa, it ended with a humiliating defeat for the Crusaders in Damascus. The Third Crusade, famously known as the King's Crusade, saw the participation of Europe's most powerful monarchs: Richard the Lionheart of England, Philip II of France, and Emperor Frederick I of the Holy Roman Empire. Despite their combined efforts, they failed to recapture Jerusalem, although they did manage to secure a treaty allowing Christian pilgrims access to the city. The Fourth Crusade, instead of targeting the Holy Land, ended up sacking the Christian city of Constantinople, causing a deep and lasting schism between the Eastern and Western churches. By the end of the 13th century, the Crusader states had been wiped off the map. The dream of maintaining Christian control over the Holy Land had failed. The Crusades had far-reaching consequences, not just for the Christian and Muslim worlds, but also for Jewish communities, and they left a legacy that continues to shape our world today. In our next video, we will delve into these consequences and the legacy of the Crusades. So, stay tuned and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more historical insights. The Crusades, a series of religious wars waged in the medieval period, had a profound impact on the world. They were not just about the battles fought, the territories conquered, or the people involved. They were a catalyst for change, a force that reshaped the world in ways that are still evident today. Let's start with the expansion of trade routes. Before the Crusades, Europe was somewhat isolated, with limited knowledge of and interaction with the outside world. But as Crusaders journeyed to the east, they opened up new pathways for trade. They brought back with them exotic goods like spices, silk, and precious stones, items that were previously unknown or rare in Europe. This sparked a surge in trade activity, leading to the growth of towns and cities and the emergence of a new class of merchants. But it wasn't just goods that were exchanged. The Crusades also led to the spread of ideas and knowledge between the East and West. Crusaders encountered advanced civilizations in the Middle East, with sophisticated systems of medicine, science, and philosophy. They brought back this knowledge to Europe, leading to advancements in various fields. This exchange of ideas was a precursor to the Renaissance, a period of great intellectual and cultural growth in Europe. However, the Crusades also had a darker side. They sowed seeds of mistrust and conflict between different religious and ethnic groups. The wars were often marked by extreme violence and intolerance, with both sides committing atrocities in the name of religion. This created deep divisions between Christians and Muslims, divisions that have persisted to this day. The echoes of these conflicts can still be heard in the modern world, in the form of religious tensions and geopolitical strife. As we reflect on the Crusades, we see a complex picture. On one hand, they were a force for growth and progress, opening up new opportunities for trade and intellectual advancement. On the other hand, they were a source of division and conflict, leaving a legacy of mistrust and hostility. It's a reminder of the dual nature of human history, a mix of progress and conflict, of enlightenment and intolerance. The Crusades were a pivotal chapter in human history, shaping the course of civilizations and leaving a lasting legacy. They were a series of religious wars, initiated, supported, and sometimes directed by the Latin Church in the medieval period. The term refers especially to the Eastern Mediterranean campaigns in the period between 1095 and 1271 that had the objective of conquering the Holy Land from Islamic rule. These wars were driven by a mix of religious fervor, political ambition, and the desire for economic gain. They remind us of the power of belief, the dangers of fanaticism, and the enduring impact of our actions on the world. The Crusades brought about significant changes in the European and Middle Eastern landscapes, influencing everything from architecture to technology, trade, and more. The Crusaders built massive castles, established new trade routes, and spread knowledge and ideas. Yet they also brought about destruction, decimating populations and sowing seeds of mistrust that still linger today. The Crusades were a paradox of human potential, a testament to our capacity for both creation and destruction. As we delve deeper into the past, we uncover the complexities of these historical events, shedding light on the motivations, actions, and consequences that shaped our world. It's a journey that takes us beyond the surface, revealing the intricate tapestry of human history. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the past. We hope this deep dive into the Crusades has given you a new perspective on this pivotal chapter in human history. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about other significant events in history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue to bring these stories from the past to life. Stay curious.